Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to show you how to remove the striker assembly for the CZ P10C. Keep in mind this video is strictly for maintenance and repairs only. Before I get started, I'd like to ask everybody to please subscribe and tell a friend about the channel. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Now let's get on with the video. So the things you're going to need to perform this is a 3mm punch, some type of cloth. You may or may not need to use a cloth depending on how your hand strength is, but it's nice to have around in case you do. So as you can see, I have just a slide here. If you need help getting to this part right here, click on the link to the top right hand corner. That'll take you to a video showing you how to get to this part. Once you get to here, come back to this video and then follow along. So let's pick up our slide and turn it upside down. And in here, you're gonna see this part right here. And this is your striker sleeve. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our 3mm punch and we're gonna push on this sleeve and we're gonna push it this way. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna compress this downward, and then this back plate will be freed to be slid off in that direction, just like that. So what I do is I keep my pointer finger on the back plate right here, and then I take the 3mm punch and I start to compress this downward. And then once the sleeve is compressed, then I slide the back plate off with my pointer finger like that. And I'll show you what it looks like. So I take my 3mm punch, I put it right on this sleeve right here, and I compress this down, and I take my pointer finger and I slide the back plate off, just like that. Back plate's off. I keep my finger here as the back plate is being slid off, just so this way nothing comes flying out of the end. So now that we have the back plate out, set that aside. Now we can take our thumb and we can slide this whole striker assembly out just like this. Set your slide aside. Okay, so now that we have the camera in a better position, what we need to do is we need to take this part of the striker assembly and put it onto the table, just like this. The whole goal here is to get these two cups right here out from underneath the compression of the spring. So at this point, this is where the rag can help compress the spring. If you don't have that great of hand strength, what I've noticed, if you use the rag and you just go as high as possible on that spring and then you compress downward, I guess it just provides a little more friction and you're able to hold the spring in a compressed state a little bit easier. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use the rag just to show you how it works. Once you grab the spring from here and compress it down, you hold it, we're gonna take these two cups out. This right here, this black collar, we're gonna take these out. And I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, we're gonna grab the spring as high as possible, maybe something like this, and then we're gonna compress down. As you can see, the one cup came right on out. I'm gonna set that aside, grab the second cup, and set that aside. And then we're gonna slowly release the spring upward, just like that. And there you go, there's the spring. And here are the two cups. This is what I was trying to explain to you. This is what one of the cups look like. See, it's like a half of a circle. And so the spring gets captured underneath this lip right here. And then the top part of this cup right here gets captured underneath this area of the striker. So now that we have the spring removed, right, all we have to do is just take this part and we're just gonna pull this out of the sleeve, and then we set this aside just like that. And there you go, congratulations. You have removed the striker assembly and disassembled it. Now let's put everything back together. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take our striker and then we're gonna put it back into this sleeve. This part of the firing pin gets put into this area of the sleeve, just like that. This piece right here goes into this channel of the sleeve, goes in like that. You don't have to worry about pushing it all the way forward yet because we still need to put the spring in. And when we put the spring in, when we compress it, it's gonna push the firing pin downward anyway. So it's gonna be like that. Take our spring. So it doesn't matter which way the spring goes on. So we could just put the spring on just like this. And now what we have to do is we have to compress the spring downward And then we have to get these two cups in again. The cups need to be underneath this part right here, this little lip that you're seeing. So it has to be just like this, as you see right there. That's half of a cup. The other cup's over here. So you can see it's underneath that lip. See if I slide it up, it hits that lip. This part of the cup will be inside the recoil spring. All right, it'll be captured in there. So I'm going to try to show you what it looks like. So the spring's on just like we said before. We're going to compress the spring all the way down as far as we can get it. So the thing I do is I like to have the cups close by, so this way I could just grab them and put them in, okay? Because as you're holding this spring, you know, it could slip out of your hands or whatever, so you want to have them readily available. So you want to be able to pick it up and put them in. So we're going to do like we did before. We're going to grab the spring as high as possible without covering the very top of the spring. And we're going to want to compress this spring downward over the striker. So now as you can see, I have the spring compressed. We're going to take this part of this, the cup, put it in just like that. Take the second cup, put it in on the other side. Like that, and then you can release the pressure on the spring, and there you go. Now we're going to put the striker assembly back into the slide, so we're going to change the camera angle again. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to get our striker assembly back into the slide. How we do that is by putting this part right here into this hole right here, just like that. And so the orientation for this part right here, this piece right here is going to be facing towards you. It's going to be facing up, and it's going to go into this channel right here. So we push this in. So now that we have the striker assembly in place, now all we have to do is we have to install the back plate. How we do that is by sliding this part right here and this part right here into these two openings right here and right here. So the problem is we can't do that until we compress the striker sleeve inward some more. So this way it opens up this side of this open area. So once you push this down, see how it opens up that area? So what we have to do is we have to compress that sleeve downward so we could get the back plate in. So what I like to do is I like to get the back plate in position like this. So this way all I have to do is with my thumb push it inward as I compress that sleeve. So I don't press on that little silver circle, I compress on the plastic part right here, and I press that in, and then I could already feel that the back plate went into place, and all I have to do is just keep pushing forward. But if you get hung up like this, you just push on this area right here and push that downward too. So I'm putting my 3mm punch on this part right here, and I'm compressing it down, pushing in the back plate with my thumb. Just like that, and it gets slid in just like that. And there you go. You have reinstalled your striker assembly into your CZ P10C. If you thought the video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't already, please subscribe and tell a friend about the channel. Every subscriber helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.